Hello everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here for the Therm web design team. Today I'm going to be using the Baby It's Cold Outside bundle by Gina K, which is on sale in the Therm web shop right now. You can get this entire bundle for $20 off, which is a really super good deal. You get that carrier sheet in with it, so you can run it through your laminating machine. You get these stamps and you get the coordinating dies and the foil mate sheets. So I have a foil mate sheet that I've pulled out. I'm just using the dies to kind of see where these are going to go. The idea with these is that it has a coordinating stamp set, so you can create some dimension with these foiled designs. So you've got the toner sheet there on the left, and then you've got the stamps that you can layer on here in any color that you'd like with stamp inks, and then you can die cut them with the coordinating dies, and then you can run them through your hot laminator with some foil to create some foiled designs on there. So lots of things that you can do with these. I'm just starting with stamping these. I did pull out those dies just to see how they were going to line up once they were stamped, and I'm just using a couple of inks from the stamp market on this and just kind of layering these designs. And I'm only using two colors, just some shades of bluish greens here, which is going to make sense here in a moment because I'm going to be creating a wintry background. And I'm actually doing a scrap squad lift, which I showed you the lift at the very beginning of this video. At the bottom there, I'm going to be lifting that layout from the Scrap Squad Facebook group, and I just really loved the composition of that layout and how she put that together. So I will be following that pretty closely, but I'm going to be using these cute little snowflakes on my layout. So we're creating a nice wintry scene for this hot summer day here in Pennsylvania in July. So this should be fun. I'm just finishing up stamping these. I'm going to go ahead and get my manual die cutting machine out, and I am going to run these through my manual die cutting machine with my magnetic platform so they're not shifting around. If you don't have a magnetic platform though, you can use just some of the pixie tape to tape your dies down so they're not shifting around whenever you're running them through your machine. I'm just trying to line these up as best as I can. Some of these stamps are actually going to fall off whenever I cut them out, which is perfectly fine. I think it's okay, and it's not going to matter in the end because they're still going to be really super pretty once they're cut out. So I'm not really worried about it. I've got some little ones here. I just love these cute little ones. I'm going to do quite a few of the small ones and actually cut off some of this design, which is something I really like about these foil mate sheets, is that you can kind of make them your own and you don't have to do them exactly how they are on the paper. You can see these dies work really, really well. They're very good quality and they cut so nicely and crisp on that machine. So I was really, really happy with how they came out. But they come out so super cute. They're all cut out at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and do my other die cutting. I was actually gonna put it away, but I'm like, oh no, I wanted to cut some little border strips with this Photoplay border die as well. So I've grabbed a little scrap of pattern paper here from one of the collections that I'm gonna be using today, and I just ran these little border pieces through because I want to actually put that at the bottom of my tags, which you'll see here in a second what I mean. I went ahead and cut out my tags. I had to kind of design them myself on my Cricut machine, and I cut them out for this layout. And while that was cutting out, I'm going to go ahead and foil these snowflakes. So I've grabbed that craft and carrier sheet that comes in that pack in the bundle. But do as I say here, not as I do, because you'll see I have a piece of cardstock there to hold all these down, which is something you should definitely do when you have smaller pieces. You can use a little bit of removable adhesive, but here is what I'm saying, do as I say, not as I do. You should never enter the open side of a craft and carrier sheet into your laminator because it will get bunched up and potentially jam your machine. So make sure when you're inserting the craft and carrier sheets, you're using the craft and carrier sheets that are the special size that go with this fuse laminating machine, and they have the folded edge on the correct orientation, so you get the correct size and you can just insert the fold right into the machine. But as you can see, they come out so beautiful. I love how they look. Here's my tags that I was talking about that I designed on my Cricut machine and my Cricut software, and I just did that really fast. I didn't want the holes to cut out because the hole that was on the tag when I entered it into my Cricut software was really, really close to the top. And I could have just removed it and added another one. But I'm like, you know what? I know the hole punch that I have works perfectly with the hole reinforcement punch that I also have. And I also ran out of tape runner here. So you see how easy that was to replace. Super easy. Just pop the old one out and then pop the new one back in, snap it shut. So easy. That's the Memory XL tape runner, which is also in the shop. But anyways, my little tags, I just decided on using my own hole punch and my own hole punch reinforcement punch because I know that the sizes on those work perfectly for me. So I'm going to just punch that out manually. And I've got little letters here that match my scrap lift that I'm doing. And then here's where those border pieces come into play. I wanted to put those right along the bottom. I just thought it would look super cute to finish that off on top of the ombre paper. And then I'm just using a little bit of mixed media adhesive for that. It will dry clear, so I don't have to worry about anything like sloshing out and making a mess because it's just going to dry clear anyways. I've got my 4 photos here that I'm using today of my little guy playing in the snow, making snow angels, throwing snowballs at me, and I just think he's super sweet and cute. So I've cut them all out. I think my tags were 2¼ inch wide by about 8 inches long. And then my photos themselves were 2 inches, but I did mat them with some white cardstock. And then this one here with the snow angel, I didn't want to cut any of that photo out. So I didn't want to like trim off his little hands or his feet. So I left that one a little bit bigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make that one an accent on this page. So I'm going to pop up all of the other tags except that one that has the larger photo. And I'm just going to leave that one glued to the page directly, and then I'll pop the other ones up for dimensions. So it just looks like a kind of like a focal point of my layout. I've got my T-square roller here that I'm just going to use to line up this first tag, and I'm going to go ahead and use my jumbo tape roll to pop this up. Now this foam tape, we have 2 different sizes in the shop. They are the thicknesses when you look at that size. So they're an 1/8 inch thick. I think the other one is a 1/16 inch thick, which are really great sizes. I prefer when I'm popping something up like this to use the thicker size, which is the 1/8 size. And I just get a lot more use out of that size personally. But if you are looking for something that matches the dimensions of like foam squares, you'll want to go with the 1/16 inch because then everything will be the same. But when I'm doing something with foam squares and I want to match this dimension, I just kind of double them up, or I just go with this and just use the jumbo foam tape roll. So all is good. It's kind of personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and finish the tops of these tags off with the hole reinforcement punch that I have and this trim from Color Rush Studio. So I'm just going to cut a few pieces off, and that way that's done. And then I can go ahead and finish the tops off, and I'm going to attach my photos down with my tape runner and finish up these tags with this jumbo foam tape roll. So I fast forwarded that up. You can see there that I have all the foam tape ones down at this point. This last one, I'm just going to use some easy tear tape. This tape is double-sided. It has a backing that you pull off, and it is super, super sticky. So it's really, really good for stuff like this that you need to stick down a large area, or even for your photos or anything like that. So I like the 1/2 inch size. That's typically what I grab and use. And then I'm alternating that tape along with my tape runner, of course. And then these little snowflakes, I'm going to start applying those and putting those down. I really love this little sticker that I just grabbed from one of the collections that I'm using today. I'm actually mixing, I think, 3 different collections. I think a couple of them are Carta and then one Simple Stories one, but I'll put them in the description for you so you don't have to remember them. And I'll link everything that I'm using to down below so that you can just click on those links to grab this bundle that I'm using today or anything else that I've used in this layout. So I've got a little cute acrylic from Pear Tree Cut Files that I'm using that says hello, and I thought that would just be perfect to add to my title to make it say hello snow. And it's just perfect for these hot summer days that we're enjoying right now. And when I wish for snow, because I absolutely love snow. I love the heat too. I really do enjoy summer. Summer is probably my favorite season just because we can get out and do so much. But I also really, really love snow. So it's kind of like I don't know, a double-edged sword, I guess, or a bittersweet kind of thing, because I love both, but they're complete opposites. So these little snowflakes turned out so cute. I'm just using some 3D foam squares to pop some of those up, and then I'm just grabbing some little snowflakes from a couple of these sticker sheets from the collections that I'm using today, and just kind of throwing those in there to add and enhance my little foiled snowflakes, if that makes sense. I just wanted to add some little ones to go along with the stamped ones and just add some dimension by popping some of these up and leaving some flat. My baby girl was just in here. You saw her flipping through my swatch book on there at the corner of my desk. She's popping in from time to time. I've got some Gina K foam squares here that I'm using to pop up my snowflakes, of course, and just kind of throwing little wordy bits in here, sticking pretty close to that scrap lift today, and kind of sticking to that design with the tags and everything, and just lightly embellishing. She had a lot more embellishments on the top of her tags, but I really liked mine the way that they were, and I wanted to just focus on my photos and those beautiful snowflakes and how pretty they are, and I wanted to keep it semi-simple on this one. So I'm kind of like toning this layout down, if you will, from what my busy layouts usually look like. I've got this little sticker book that I'm using today. This is from, I think it's like called Simple Vintage Fresh Snow. I think it's called, by Simple Stories. But I'll link it down below for you so you don't have to remember what they're all called. And I've got some little word phrases from that sticker book I'm using. And again, just going back and forth through all these sticker sheets, grabbing some word phrases, grabbing some little snowflakes just to add and enhance this layout. And then I'm actually going to grab some white acrylic paint as well. And I'm going to add some splatters to this too. I'm just using my date stamp here with a little label sticker that I'm going to throw on this right side of my photo strip here, or my little tag strip, and I'm just going to add it right there on the right. It was a little crooked, so I had to pull it up and reapply, but thank goodness it didn't rip or tear my layout or anything. It was fine. I'm just using my foam tape there because I had that right beside me. I had already moved my photo squares to the side, and I kind of lost them on my messy desk here. I've got little snowflakes that I'm just adding there, and then I'm going to grab that white acrylic paint and some water with my paintbrush. I just like to water this down a little bit so it's more spreadable, and I can just flick it on with my paintbrush to get some nice white splatters on there and kind of make it look a little bit more snowy. So that's going to finish this one up. Again, I'll link everything down below in the description for you if you want to grab anything from the Therm web shop. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I've inspired you to create something with these beautiful snowflakes. I just love them, and I hope you enjoyed this layout too. So thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.